Lauren was 24 years old, and she was a graduate of University of Denver. She had a Bachelor of Science in International Studies and a minor in German and a minor in psychology, and she knew French.
She was an incredibly healthy girl, 6'1.5", 156 pounds, very athletic.
She was always up for an adventure, whether it be horseback riding and just being outdoors.
I was in Australia having breakfast with my mother, and I passed out, fell down in my breakfast, Vegemite sandwich. Lifted my head up, and my mother said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No." 48 hours after collapsing for breakfast, I was told that I had a serious heart problem. I had non-ischemic cardiomyopathy, and that I needed a pacemaker defibrillator.
Lauren had just graduated from college, so she was kind of the designated person to stay back with Glenn. So she supported him and was there with him.
She was there beside me several times when I went into cardiac arrest. She saw what it was like, and I can't imagine how terrifying that must have been for her.
She brought him back back to Oklahoma. She took care of him every day, took him to cardiac rehab, any appointment that he had to have, and she did the driving for a while.
She definitely stepped up for our family and was there, made sure he was good on all his flights. He obviously had some anxiety after all of these events, and she did really well to keep him grounded and lower that anxiety and just get him home, because I think that was the ultimate goal for all of us, was to get him back in the United States.
We had always done the heart walks even before it was affected by our family, the heart disease, because I always felt that someone has heart disease and I will be walking.
2017, when it came time for the heart walk, I trained up at the wellness center at Hillcrest in the indoor track for 10 weeks so that I could get to the point where I could walk 5 kilometers without stopping.
Lauren walked with us. She had just had shoulder surgery the week before, and so she's like, "I'm walking with Dad. I'm walking for Dad."
And that was like, wow, this is what I'm doing now. 12 months ago, I would never have thought this is where I'd be.
She got Glenn back on his feet, and then when she felt that she was ready to go back to Denver, then she returned to Denver.
I remember thinking, 2018, my goodness, I turned 60 in April in 2018. And I thought, I'm looking forward to doing that with my family around me. On the 17th of February, I was just sitting there. We just started the day as we normally do. I was watching the television. Dorothy had gone to another supermarket to get a few things. And next minute the doorbell rings, and it was 2 police officers. And they said, "Are you Glenn Harris?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "You have a daughter, Lauren Harris?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "What's her date of birth?" And then I said, "Please come inside." And I didn't answer that question. I said, "Is she alive?" And they said, "No." And that's how we found out.
She had something that was called, we found out later, ARVD, which is arrhythmogenic right ventricular dysplasia. And it's caused from a rare hereditary gene, and the gene doesn't always, and it's usually in the heart muscle, doesn't always mutate, but it mutated in Lauren and pulled her heart muscle apart. We had genetic testing done. It came that I may be the carrier of the gene.
When it came time to do the eulogy for the funeral, at the end of it there, we said, we're going to be doing a heart walk for Lauren. Anybody who joins our team, we will give them a t-shirt. 88 t-shirts later, it was, wow. We were just so happy that with the support that people came out.
The American Heart Association, they are fantastic at research and always staying on top of that, spreading awareness that heart disease can literally happen to anyone. It does not discriminate age, gender. I am excited to see what the future looks like when it comes to the American Heart Association and the awareness and research to come.
Hopefully in the future, other families can walk with their children who have the heart disease and not for them.